How's everybody doing today? So, it's end of the year. I know a lot of people are excited for the end of the year. So, what are your goals? What do you want to achieve? You're gonna find those types of things are gonna be very important for your case, starting the year off. So, the world around you doesn't exist. I'll tell you right now. It's as far as I'm concerned, there's very few things in the world that exist that are not inside of you. Just to finish what I just said, the world that you see today is the world that is inside of yourself. A lot of the things that we complain about, I complain about Satan, like Lucifer, but all those things like I said, are in people, and that's when it gets interesting because when you see enemy was always operating in energies, all the energies are replication of what is inside. So to defeat these again, these beings is and to defeat yourself. So you look at even with the government that control, they really have no say in what you should really do. Sometimes you have a cause and effect scenario, they affect your work, your job, and whether you get a vaccine or don't get a vaccine. But what you're going to find is now you're just going to be more intentional on the power you give people and the power you give your government. So no one has that type of power over you that you really think. Because, I mean, as soon as you give them that power, it's the power that you gave. So you take it back, that's the power you achieve for yourself. So that's those things where that's you getting your power back. So that's the thing I say I gotta be saying I gotta be proud of you because when you take your power back, that's when you know you're ready to you lead your life. You're ready to take responsibility and you're ready to do some awesome things. So that's the thing I just want to say congratulations because if you go into the year of 2020 from 2019 to 2020 the way that you came in basically you come out the same way that you came in for the year this year you're going into 2021 if you're coming in just like you went into 2020 then you didn't grow but the good news is even about not growing you kind of know that supernatural exists you know that the power of life and death is in the tongue and also in what you read the word is put forth you know about beings that control the planet you know about I guess next year we'll go more into 24 and 4 you learn about Anu and Inki Enlil Marduk even Hallel. Those are like the people we're talking about with the different names and the different reasons, and that's why they are basically we call them the gods of the universe. But the idea now, the rulers of the universe. But besides that, you kind of know that you've been given a crown. You have a crown, and that's your power. So if you don't use that, I mean it's up to you, but for the most part, it is just this is really meant to empower you. So I want everyone to get that break so you can shift towards your own reality that you created for yourself. And sometimes it's going to be a little bit out of where you're called to be, but that reality that you're helping to create for yourself is something that you're going to grow in and hopefully you're going to enjoy for most of you, you're looking for happiness, but a lot of people, it is to follow and is to be free, or in some cases, it is to find that salvation. So those purposes for you in 2021 are going to be very important. So you're not going to look always at what the other person is doing because you're going to have a different path. Sometimes you aren't even capable of doing a certain thing someone else was, and that's okay. You'll just do what you're able to do what you're capable of doing again because it's not about what the other guy is doing. It's about what you wanted to do and what you feel that you could accomplish, and you did that. So, in terms of how the system works, it's definitely against you. God is for you, then who can be against you? But the system was always against you. I don't care who you were. It used you, and you fell for it. So, that was the point. If government is for you, then government becomes your god. You like whatever you think is what's going to give you happiness, even if it's the spouse or if it's the parents or these things on this planet. If you make a god out of it, it shall be your idol, and hopefully you'll find whatever you find with it. Um, Maybe a good thing, maybe a bad thing, but you shouldn't necessarily look to anybody down here to be that for you. Even when we were talking about with Yeshua HaMashiach, you were talking about Christ Jesus, that being Him. I'm saying now you realize they worked pretty hard to go around what He taught, but the kingdom was built off of the male becoming female, the female becoming male. The idea was the energies. If the energies are being able to shift, you can, in that sense, you can have this balance in the world. Right now, as it sits today, it's not because man this, woman that. It's sort of the approach of how we talk to each other, how we treat each other. That's going to affect how people are able to relate to themselves, because you have these energies within you that you might not have been able to harmonize because of the fact that you might not have grown up with the energies is sort of like looked at the mom with the feminine energy, dad with the masculine energy. Those are those types of things that people normally say that builds the house or whatever. But this house, this is the house. Basically, we talk about house of David, house of Jacob, house of Joseph, house of all that stuff. Ephraim and Manasseh, Jacob and Esau. Cain and Abel and Seth. Like these are this is that house. This whole body is a representation of all the energies of the fatherhood, of the motherhood for the women. I mean, this is a representation of the whole universe. They place the universe within the sons of man, all the sons of man. So that understanding, overstanding, some of you will be able to or be capable of really relating to other people other than yourself. Because what happens maybe, some people, and this isn't for you, this is for me, to say that when you're relating to someone, you have to go outside of your own energy. You have to go outside to a different energetic field and say, the approach is, oh, this is how the feminine would approach it, this is how the masculine would approach it. In some cases, again, I've been talking about it like people didn't worship Satan, but some of you did worship Satan. I didn't know, but that wasn't to say, suffice to say that approach I wouldn't attack it, because in all honesty, I know my adversary, I know my enemy, I know the world, I know Mammon, I know Belphegor, Asmodeus, I mean all of the other princes of hell. So I know the deception that's going on, but to fight it, I can't necessarily fight you, because for people around in the world, I have to say that, you can be in the world but not of it. It's just to say, like, a lot of things have gone on for a lot of centuries, and it's just the way, like, what's going to happen is some things are going to feel a certain way, but at the end of the day, you will get these scenarios where the world gets a lot worse, and you're going to be saying, oh, you're going to be blaming actual people for getting it worse. Reality, it was always planned to be that way. But you just have to adjust, take with what little you have and make, you multiply it. Some of you, if you have a lot in your hand, you'll have even more of it. So the rich do get richer. That's the law of the universe. Jesus would say the same thing. If you have some in your hand, you're going to have more of it. If you have less of it, you're going to have even less than what you had. So you'll be able to multiply 1, make it 2, make it 2, make a 4, make it 8, make it 16, exponential growth, things like that. But what will happen is this. Among the events that happen this year, you will have scenarios where you will have these scenarios where a lot of people, again, who are on top now, falling, a lot of people on the bottom going up somehow, some way. So the shifts actually did happen. You shifted in your mind to your own reality. So for some of you, again, this is why I had to stop making videos for that period, because I wanted you to be able to shift to that reality that you wanted. At the same time, I need to tell you that, God has a plan, and it is His plan. So that thing when I say follow the 10 Commandments and you'll be able to see through this mess, You know, I mean, for the most part, even the will to follow the Ten Commandments is the power to see through, you know, the rabbit hole. So it's like it was the blue pill, red pill. The blue pill would say like, take the blue pill, you go to sleep, and forget all that happened here. You can believe whatever you want to believe. It'll be the truth. Or I can show you the red pill. You can take the red pill and stay in Wonderland, and I can show you how far the rabbit hole goes. So this is the reality you're looking at to say like it wasn't per se the situation of it was always supposed to be a good thing, it was always supposed to be a bad thing. People are suffering, but it's not your fault. It's not anybody's fault. It's just to say that people are suffering for a reason. Long suffering is a fruit of the spirit. It's the fact that the poor was supposed to be not given stuff by God, believe it or not. It's supposed to be given stuff by the people who've already given it. So if you already have something, it was to give some of that to the poor in everything. If you're poor in the spirit, poor in financial status, I mean, that was the reason. You had it in your hand to give it to the people who were poor, who people didn't have it. But it wasn't always going to be equal. It wasn't supposed to be, because look, if you didn't know how to produce, how to multiply, some of it would turn back on you. Like if you were the servant who couldn't multiply the talent, you'd have to be thrown out into darkness. So these were the principles of the above. This is what these rulers in high places will tell you, because if you weren't able to multiply, you know, they throw you out into the darkness. You know, I mean, this is why the world goes the way it does. You have to ask, why would God allow slavery to happen? Why would God allow, again, people to go homeless? Why would God allow X, Y, and Z? Because we're talking about the servant type thing. It's apparently this servant stuff, suffering servant, is actually very biblical. For some reason, it's why I said the Yeshua ben Joseph, because Joseph is known as the suffering servant. So a lot of you, again, you might not know about, you know, Yeshua ben David, Yeshua ben Joseph, but the point is the character of him is Yeshua ben Joseph. Now, Jesus, son of Joseph, his father, we said his father's Joseph, but my point again, our Jesus Christ, that Yeshua ben Joseph, that the son of Joseph, we're looking at that as the scenario, as the suffering servant. Now we're gonna have to go back to Yeshua ben David as the thing where we have to say that's the conquering servant. That's the guy who's gonna sort of conquer, take over the world, because of the idea was, I mean, most people don't really think that Christianity or Judaism is like a serious thing, but what they're gonna realize is it's always been the saints that have controlled the world. You know, it's been your pastors, those types of people. It's been the rabbis. They control the world. We do. We control the world. And it's the fact that you can probably control the world too through that same thing of the Bible. If you follow it. If you follow the Bible, you will control the world. That's the side effect. If you follow the Torah, you control the world. You follow even the Quran, you control the world. Those types of things. That's the secret. You're a saint of the Most High. If you're a saint of the Most High, you have the power. That's where the superpower lies in for the saints. All the power is belonging to the saints of the Most High on this earth. You know, anything else has been given into Allah's hand. Believe it or not. You know, I can't say really good morning. Look, hello, good morning, hallelujah. I don't say hallelujah. I'll say good day, and I'll say Elo, because I'm serious. Some of the negative connotations of some of these words have been very intentional, and they've been manifesting things in certain people's lives. And you're like, what has been going on? So sometimes I say good morning. I even say it with a U by mistake, you know, and that was kind of a little bit mistake. So if I ever use the U, some of you might know what I'm talking about. For the morning, I even say that morning. Again, you know, the negative connotation with morning. So again, pump you might even say overstand, understand, like, I mean, if you say overstand, I'm not gonna fault you again, like I said. But for me, that understanding was another level. So you might even see me again when I say go low. 2021, I'll just show you who I really am. So it's I will become who I will become. That's sort of the year where we're saying this is who I am, and this is what I plan on doing. But I'm not gonna tell you the full plan. But I'm saying if you were to if you decide follow the 10 Commandments, become a saint today, or all this stuff, you would control the world. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. That's the fight. So you have a problem with X, Y, Z, this and that. You're a saint. If you're a saint of the Most High, then act like it. So that's where we're getting at. All right, I'm not by ifs, ands, and buts about morality and this and that. I'm gonna tell you the truth. You control the world if you're a saint of the Most High. You don't have to put this X, Y, Z, this da 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 da. I mean, even through Egypt, there were some saints, but the point is the fact that it's all like they change their names on purpose. People from the Most High can change their names on purpose. Michael has a different name. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm saying like these beings are like different people in different regions, but they're the same being in a higher realm. You know what I'm saying? So that's the level you can get to and say, no, it's not just this in this region. Sometimes it's all of them. Like the king of Babylon was maybe always Yahweh. That's why the transfer to Yahweh, the king of Babylon, he was always there. He was always the God. He was always the God of gods. That's the thing. Yahweh was always the God of gods. That's what I'm trying to say. So that's why there's a lot of overlay in this. In different regions, they just let different rulers control over different times, but it's the same God in the same region. You know what I'm trying to say? Like the whole Egyptian Israeli area, that sort of control, like even in our minds, that's the control. It's the mind branding, basically. Some of it, again, like we talked about Mark of the Beast, but a lot of it, again, is the branding inside of your mind. You've already been branded inside of your brain. You just don't realize it. By this world, by a lot of other beings. So a lot of it, I can't say you can avoid, but you can endure to the end. That's what the mission is. It's not given to the swift nor the strong, but he that endureth to the end. So the plan for 2021 is to say, endure, all right, and be very intentional with the messages you're putting out, with what you're sending out. You want to be very intentional, all right. I haven't been as intentional as I wanted, but I want to say that your reality was I wanted to make it what you wanted to make it. But now I want you to be intentional and say you are a saint of the Most High. You control some of this planet automatic because of the Most High. You know, if you say it's going to snow on a certain day, it's going to snow. If you say a certain fire is going to rain down, a certain fire is going to rain down. It's the truth. I've seen it. You know, we had a fireball in China. We had the snow over here in Georgia on Christmas Eve. I spoke it, and it shall be. You have to have that authority and that power. You are saying of the Most High. That's all I have to say for this video. Just to be intentional. And if you're saying of the Most High, again, you have that certain power and authority for the year. And number 3, you will have to endure. You have to endure it. All right. It's going to take a lot of growth because you might not be used to being the suffering servant. Some of you, again, will be the kings. So that's what I'm trying to say. So some of you, in that Joseph situation, he had to suffer before getting be a king. In the David situation, he just grew into it, and then he conquered everybody, slayed 10,000s. I mean, basically, he did everything right as a king until, you know, a certain thing happened. But the point is, David is the best of all of the kings of Israel. So just something to remember. All right. Peace.